For this question, we want to find the derivative. At this stage, what we probably will do, we'll split up this question into individual components. And then we're going to try and write it as indices and cancel out where we can. There are two ways you could consider this. I'll do it in this colour. This x is actually x to the half. So when I'm dividing indices of the same base, I can subtract the powers. So that means this becomes x, same base, 2 minus a half is 1.5. I'll do the same thing here. I'm dividing through, bases are the same. I've got 1 minus a half is just x to the half. And this is going to be 4x to the minus a half. I've got nothing to cancel out, but I can turn it to index by bringing it up from the bottom of the fraction with a negative sign. Now I'm going to find the derivative of each individual component, and then I'll need to tidy it up. So I'm going to write it out in full. Simplify where I can. 3 3s, this is 9 halves. X to the half. That bit will cancel out. I've got a minus x to the minus a half. 4 divided by 2 is 2. I'm going to remove the fractional indices and the negative indices. X to the half, we know from before, is the square root of x. So this is 9 root x on 2. This component, the negative a half, it's a bit like this one, so it's going to be over the square root of x. And this one here, well, that looks a little bit like the 3 on 2 here. But let's just write it like this, minus 2 over x to the 3 on 2. Now, I still got to get rid of the fractional part here. Now, I'll just do it as an aside for you. This is a common one. You should become fairly fluent with this one. X to the 3 on 2. The bottom number here tells us which root it is, so that's a square root. That 2, square root. We often don't write it when it's a square root. This top number will power the x's inside. So this is x to the 3 over 2. We know, though, that x cubed can be written as x squared times x. We also know that can be written as the product of different square roots. And we can see here that the square root of x squared is just x. So this is an important one to connect all of those together. Different forms so that you can write them straight down. What we have here is x to the 3 on 2, and I can write that straight as x root x. Well done.